One credible theory is that the rate at which we perceive time is related to how much new perceptual information we're receiving. So the more new things we're doing, the more perceptual information we receive from the environment, the more we have to remodel the world around us, the more our brain takes down detailed information, and the longer that period of time seems to be, potentially in hindsight. Whereas when we get used to things, when we get used to our ideas of the world, when we go into work every day and do the same thing, or we commute, then we're not doing new things. We can almost do that on autopilot, and that time seems to go much more quickly. When you're older and you're commuting every day and you're doing the same old things, then things seem to speed up. So the perception of time really changes as you get older, but it's related to the amount of new things that you're doing. So this theory ties in nicely with this idea that before an accident things seem to slow down for people, and the reason would be because it's such a new and uncommon experience that your brain records really detailed information. It's really taking this new information in, and that's making you have a very detailed memory and perceiving that time period to last a lot longer. If you want to try and slow down the perception of time, then the advice is to do new things. So to go travelling, to experience new things, to meet new people, to do new hobbies. So that's one theory. There's a much more mathematical theory, which is that we perceive a particular period of time as a proportion of the time that we've already lived through. So, for example, when you're 2 years old, the time between birthdays seems an extraordinarily long period of time to wait, and that's because the whole year between the ages of 2 and 3 is half of your life when you're a 2-year-old. So you've only lived through 2 of those periods before, and so it seems like a really long stretch. Whereas when you're 10, okay, it's still uncomfortable wait, it's 10% of your life, but it's slightly more tolerable. When you're 20, it's 5%, and when you're my age, it's only 3% of your life between birthdays, so it seems to fly by because you've experienced those periods of time so much more. When something tends to grow with relation to its current size, that's called exponential growth, and so this idea that the perceived period of time that you have is related to your current age, or how long you've already lived, means that the perception of time tends to speed up exponentially as we get old. So it's a sort of sobering thought that the period of time between the ages of 5 and 10 could feel just as long or as short as the ages between 40 and 80. It's a doubling of your age, so it's quite a scary thought. We really have to try and make the most of the time that we've got.